Welcome to From Me to We, where good people become great teams. Small shifts, big wins, and a culture built from the ground up.
All right, I got a question for you both. Ever had one of those days where you think, how hard could their job be? And then you actually do it for like 20 minutes and you're thinking, oh, okay, I was way off. That happened to me back when I first became a manager. I thought I'd help out by shadowing one of our new hires doing landscaping. Show some solidarity. Next thing I know, I'm in the pouring rain, fighting a trimmer that wouldn't start. And yeah, I'd totally underestimated how challenging all those little tasks can be out there. Made my usual just hustle pep talk look kind of ridiculous in hindsight.
That's so real, Jake. It reminds me of what researchers found with Project Aristotle, that big Google study with like 180 teams, right? They expected the best ones to just be hyper-talented, but turns out it wasn't really about skills. It was this thing they called psychological safety. Like, can I be honest, make mistakes, or ask questions without worrying I'll get judged? That's the magic. It's those tiny micro moments where you feel like, I can breathe around these people. Like one respectful head nod from a teammate is worth more than a whole slide deck of rules.
There's something so practical in that. For all the talk about leadership programs, every study still comes back to these little everyday actions. MIT even ran research on high-performing teams in different industries, and the common thread wasn't fancy meetings. It was hallway check-ins, casual side conversations, tiny signals that say, I see you, I value what you do. The data shows informal empathy beats formal agendas every single time.
Yeah, and look, I'm guilty of thinking like if everyone had my work ethic, everything would be fine. That's just not real. Respect is the real currency. And stuff like saying, hey, what do you need from me today? Does more for trust than a Go Team pizza party. Amani, when's the last time just a random split-second chat changed your whole work mood?
Oh, it happens all the time. Sometimes a 5-second question, how can I set you up for success here, shifts my whole internal weather. And to be honest, it's usually from someone who's trying to improve the team, not trying to fix me. Those are the respect deposits, if you will. Miles, you think this currency stuff scales, or are we just passing around small change?
It absolutely scales. It builds up fast, person by person, team by team. When one person takes that first step and shows genuine curiosity, the data says other people follow suit. You create these behavioral ripples without realizing it, and that's the culture shift everyone's actually looking for. All right, let's make this stick beyond theory. Here's a move anyone listening can literally try tomorrow. I call it the 2-hour empathy shot. Just shadow a teammate for part of a shift. No permission slips, no giant initiative. Walk alongside, see their headaches, their victories. It's like empathy and fast forward. You don't need HR for that. Just ask, mind if I tag along?
Let's turn it into a quick role play.
Okay, I'm you a project manager for the day, Jake. Let's go. First email in your inbox. Client wants the irrigation plan moved up 2 weeks. Second one, supplier is short on pavers. Third one, crew lead's truck won't start. It's like whack-a-mole, but with people's paychecks attached. By 8:15 a.m., I'm out of coffee and I already need a nap. Respect, my friend. You don't manage projects, you manage professional chaos.
Fair enough. But now I'm shadowing you, a salesperson. First call at 7 o'clock a.m. Can you sharpen your bid by 10%? Next call, we're comparing you with 2 other contractors. Then your prospect ghosts you after a site walk, and you've still got to smile and sound like you're the answer to their backyard dreams. And here's the kicker. You live with the scoreboard in public. If you miss quota, everybody knows. Sales isn't just handshakes and dinners, it's rejection boot camp. Respect earned.
That's what I'm talking about. Shadowing builds instant empathy. But you don't even have to go that far. Just switch up your talk. Instead of, how do you keep screwing up the Newman project? Try, how can we address Mr. Newman? Or, leave a 2-line note. Saw you handle Mr. Newman. Mad respect. Simple but crazy sticky for morale. That's real respect currency right there.
And don't overthink it. You don't need approval to ask, hey, what's one thing about your job people never notice? Or spend 15 minutes in someone's world on a Friday. It's not about being perfect. It's just showing up curious, even when it's a little awkward.
Let me bring this down to earth with a real story. In a hospital I worked with, they did a nurse-janitor shadow swap. Nurses spent a day walking the custodial rounds. I'll never forget, the head nurse, after seeing what actually went into infection control, said, I had no idea how much we relied on you. Long story short, infection rates dropped, but even cooler, you saw people greeting each other in the halls by name afterward. That's the whole respect currency thing, real and direct.
Love it. The crew and I started calling these little switch-ups our empathy swaps, like, hey, want to empathy swap this Friday? It became a kind of inside joke, swapping jobs for a bit and bragging about who survived whose chaos. Kind of like saying, I didn't just walk in your shoes, I tripped, fell, and now I owe you 6 months of underestimated appreciation.
It might sound small, but the research shows those swaps of yours trigger what scientists call behavioral contagion. Basically, when one person does it, just one, it nudges everyone else to try. Maybe it's human nature, maybe it's just social proof, but pretty soon the whole team's making those little empathy investments. That's when culture genuinely shifts, not because leadership said so, but because the crew decided to see each other a little differently.
If you're listening, here's your call to action. Don't let this episode be background noise. Try one thing tomorrow. Offer to shadow a team member for an hour, or drop a quick, "You crushed that tough shift" note. Post your empathy swap stories in the comments. Share your wins or the epic fails, because honestly, both teach us the same thing.
You want your team to be in that top tier, right? It starts with the move you make tomorrow. Tiny, awkward, but real. That's what separates just another team from the kind that looks out for each other, no matter what. I want to read those stories in the community feed. Today I walked a mile in someone else's chaos and almost retired at lunch. Stuff like that.
Exactly. It's those action items that actually move the needle and make it stick in the real world. Don't just listen, do one thing. Shadow, swap, or show appreciation, then put it in the comments. The more you share, the more we all learn and grow. That's how the ripple becomes a wave. Let's see the culture you can start with one decision.
Go do, share, and let those empathy deposits add up. Catch you in Chapter 3.
You've been listening to From Me to We. Remember, every great team starts with one brave choice.